Morning, guys. So last night was a rough one, right? It was hard. And I had no choice but to release the whole receipts of me paying the money to the family member, complete with their name, which they didn't want on social media, because there's only so much I can take of being called a scammer and having the family not say what is true and what is right. So when it come to Amicia going on Fatter's Live and saying, yes, I did give them the money, but it didn't go to them, it went to one of the legal team, etc. Like, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. The truth is, I gave it to Sir Brian's cousin, whose name is Camille, whose maiden name was Young, and it was her job to get it to the correct people. Now, I provided my statements from my side, so actually it's the family people need to be asking for where my money went from Camille. So mine and my people's money, that's where we paid it. So I put out the fuller statement, the full receipt last night, because I'm fed up. I'm absolutely fed up of people saying that I'm a scammer, because I gave the money that we said we raised, the whole money, to these people. And there's just no gratitude for it at all, to the extent where you're quite willing to add to the hate campaign that is going to take away my reputation to work on further cases, rather than just tell the truth and say, yeah, she absolutely helped us and we're grateful. That's all it would have taken. I can no longer cover Adriana Young's case. There is only so much you can help people that don't want to be helped. That is the truth. And so I'll be taking down my videos today, and we'll be moving on to cases where they actually do want help and they do want awareness, and there isn't attacks all the time, because there's only so much one person can take. You know, you're feeding these trolls who are saying malicious stuff, and any sensible, normal person would have just answered questions like, did Hayley COMET give you the money she said she did? Yes, and we're very grateful. That's all it would have taken, all it would have taken. But nah, it just fired up another round of shit about money and take away all the focus from Adriana Young, and it's just absolutely tragic and sad at this moment in time. But I'm out. Look, I'm out. Every other case I've ever covered before while speaking to family, they've always been nice, kind, and they've always been grateful, and they've always been fighting for the right cause. Like, no matter which case we've covered, and we have really good relationships with those family members now because they're part of the community. So I don't understand. And people keep saying, well, it's because it's Guyana, but I don't believe that, because I've met so many great people from Guyana, so many lovely people, and so many people have been so amazing that I don't think that's what it is. I think something switched and motivations changed, and I'll leave you guys to figure that out, because I'm not doing it anymore. I did everything I could do. To me, it's not about the money, it's about the hours and hours that I put into the case, the 200 plus videos I made, the constant lives I did, the constant shouting of justice for Adriana, the taking time away from my own family to put it into Adriana's case. And after all of that, that is the thanks I get. You know, it's just never asked for anything. I never, even yesterday when I spoke to Amicia, I said, you didn't ask me for those things, and I never said you asked me for those things. We did that out of the kindness of our heart, but you still don't attack people based off that. I don't get it. And I will say that I don't want to go to war with anyone's parents, especially anyone who's lost a child, but I will not have 2.5 years of what I've worked towards destroyed. I promise you that. I will not have every single case I've covered for all these different parents and all of the cases coming in the future. I will not have that ruined by people who want to try and take apart my fucking reputation. So if it comes to it, I will leak everything, every single message, every single text, every single Facebook, every single everything. I will leak everything, every single message, every single text, every single Facebook, every single everything.
I will leak everything, every single message, every single text, every single Facebook, every single everything.
Where I was nice, I was kind, I was offering, I was considerate, and I got fuck all back every time. And then I would be going to my mods and being like, yeah, but they haven't even said thank you, like they're just being rude. And I would say every single time, they would be like, no, don't worry, it's just a different cultural thing. And I would go back in every single time with my helmet on going, okay, I'm going to do it again because I really want Adriana to have justice. I'm fucking fed up. The mum's just jumped in Fat's life because the Brian's told her to, and just said, yeah, she did give us the money, but this and but that. No, but nothing. You needed money for a second autopsy. You needed 8,000, 6,000 came from my community. Just say thank you. Just show a bit of fucking gratitude. It's not asking for the whole world. But she should have said, but Fat, you paid fucking nothing. Buck Fat, you came to my daughter's funeral and
followed my husband round, sniffing his crotch all day for her. But I was looking at you funny because I just wanted to mom my daughter and you acted like a fucking lush. And Fatta, when you were literally grinding on the graves, that made me uncomfortable because my 11-year-old child was about to be buried. Like, at this point, I may just take down every video I've ever done and just be done with it, just walk away from it entirely, because I didn't get paid for any of them anyway, so it don't make any difference. I think if I took down every single video of Adriana, I'll lose about $8, but at least I'll be clear of it and just done. Like, honestly, I'm just done. People have choices between justice and trying to keep Fatta happy, and you chose to keep Fatta happy, which then you're still on the wrong side of everything. And not once did anyone stand up for what was right. Not once did anyone say justice for Adriana. Well, I've got all these people on TikTok, let me just say justice for my daughter, and I'm fucking fed up of it. Like, do what you want, do what you want. Even on the call, Amicia, like, baiting out Josh, the lawyer, the fucking people that are helping for you for free. Like, what do you want then? Have we got to a point where there's just been a payoff made and you want everyone to fuck off and walk away? Is that what we're up to? But you're going to say stuff about Josh, you're going to say stuff about me, because then it'll be easier, right? Your husband's on live yesterday flashing the cash. Your house is being paid, everything's been done. Has it just been paid for? It's all done now, yeah? All done. Money paid. All done. I'd just like to know who sat down and worked out how much her life was worth. I'll leave you that for 11 years.
So yesterday, Amika Lewis, who's the aunt of Adriana Young, told everybody on her Facebook story that Adriana Young's baby sister Gabby, who is a couple of years younger than Adriana, has been admitted to hospital twice due to the fact that she is struggling to cope with the loss of her sister. She is absolutely struggling with grief and missing her sister, and just kind of probably the unfairness of it all, you know. 3 months ago they were a family of 3 children and 2 parents, and now there is a gaping hole in their family in the shape of Adriana. This is absolutely heartbreaking. Now, Amika goes on to say that they've had to confiscate the phone off of Gabby because she is consistently just spending all day, every day crying and looking at photos and videos of Adriana. I am just so saddened to hear this. Like, obviously we knew that Gabby and also Adriana's younger brother were going to struggle, and what they've gone through is so unfair, so horrific and so tragic. And on top of that, you know, they now have 2 parents who are not the same as they were before. They are in deep grief. And I'm just so sorry. And, you know, like I always offer, if any of Adriana's family are watching this video and there is anything I can do to help at all, whether it be pay for some counselling or sort out some kind of treats for Gabby, and also Adriana's baby brother, if there's anything we can do, you know, to even help out a little bit, we always will. So please get in contact if that's something that would be helpful. So why do we know that the hotel owner from the Doubleday Hotel had something to do with what happened to Adriana Young? I always think that people with nothing to hide nothing. And if you have no reason to worry or kind of have to hide anything, you don't lie. Now, we already know that he lied about being at the side of the pool during the time that Adriana Young was in the pool. There is pictures of him stood on the edge of the pool next to the kind of the bar, and he is stood camera in hand or phone camera, and he is either on the phone to someone looking at his screen or maybe even filming, but he is there right at the side of the pool where Adriana Young is. Why would the Doubleday hotel owner tell everybody that the cameras, the CCTV, was not working when we have since found out through Dexter Todd, who is running the investigation and the justice campaign for Adriana Young? Why would he tell them all his cameras weren't working when we know they were? Imagine what would have happened if he had just told the truth and said the cameras were working. They would have gone and reviewed the footage, saw who took Adriana from next to that pool, and she would have been saved. Adriana Young would still be here. Now that tells us that even if people, the deluded people from the PPP, keep trying to say that the Doubleday hotel owner didn't kill Adriana Young, he certainly didn't save her when he had the chance. Thirdly, we know that most killers have an MO, which is a modus operandi, which means they have a certain way in which they kind of act when they commit crimes. Now, we know that he already has been involved in the death of Sadiq Juman, Sadiq had head trauma, but then was kept in a hotel room for a certain period of time and then placed back in the pool to drown. So it seems very strange that we've had another death exactly the same way, and the Doubleday hotel owner is saying that never happened. He calls Sadiq Juman the incident, and everyone knows him and his driver caused that incident. So it's weird how Adriana Young would be found in the exact same way 13 years later. Dexter Todd also said someone connected to the hotel had been showing people things on his phone that meant he'd had access to the CCTV, and I wonder right now what those things were.